The following podcast is a production of Radio Felician, the voice of Felician University of New Jersey and the home of alternative rock done right. Available via iHeartRadio, TuneIn, the Radio Felician app, and at radiofelician.com.
Radio Felician University.
Welcome to The Felician Lantern, shining a light on everything nursing. A podcast from Felician University in New Jersey, exploring current issues in healthcare, speaking to leaders in the field, and preparing the next generation of nurses. Your hosts are Dr. Daria Waszak and Dr. Elizabeth Van Dyke, Associate Deans of the Felician University School of Nursing.
Welcome to the Felician Lantern. I'm Daria.
And I'm Liz.
Today we have with us Sister Mary Patricia. She's our School of Nursing chaplain and a lab instructor in the Nursing Resource and Simulation Center. Welcome, Sister Mary Patricia.
Oh, hello. How are you?
And we recently had a training in the NRSC where you're a lab instructor. And we had a vendor come in and teach about augmented reality. And we had the HoloLens, and you had the HoloLens on, and everything. And they adored you, and they said one of the vendor representatives said they would love to just sit with you and have coffee and chat. They would love to do that, and so that's what we're hoping to do today. Although you like tea, pretend we're having tea. We're just going to have a wonderful conversation with you today to get to know you better. So welcome to our podcast.
Okay. So I guess I just want to start off again. Thank you so much for joining us and being our guest today, and just to kind of get to know you and know your start and, where did you grow up? How did that come about? And what were your, teenage years kind of like? And what kind of led you to where you are today?
Well, I grew up in Cliffside Park, of course, in New Jersey. And I went to, I always say I'm a Red Raider. I went to Cliffside Park High. I went to be a baby tech, to be a baby technician. I went to the New York Foundling Hospital, and I did that for 3 years. Once I graduated at Englewood, I did that for 3 years. And then I decided, one of my friends encouraged me to go back to school, so I went to be an LPN, and I went to Bergen Vocational in Hackensack. So once I graduated, I went back to Englewood. I worked in between, on the pediatric, just to keep up my, skills. And then another friend encouraged me to go back to school. So I decided to go to Felician College at the time. It was Felician College. So I went back there and I got my RN. And that's where I met the sisters. It was Sister Teresa Mary Martin. She was a past president a few times ago. And actually Martin Hall is named after her. So it was kind of like, I felt like God was using her to show me the way. There was a book I read by Basil Pennington, and it was big orange letters across the book. It said "called," and it said, "You looking at person shows you the way you are to go by the way the person that you're looking at shows you the way you're to go by their life." So I felt like Sister Teresa was that for me.
So prior to going to Felician College, you hadn't really ever?
No, I never really did.
No,
I never thought really that would be for me, because I come from I'm one of 7 children. I'm the 5th of the 7, and all my brothers and sisters were married or were getting married or thinking of getting married. So I just figured it would be the same for me, that I have a bunch of kids. Now I feel like other could be like my spiritual children. That's what we kind of call them.
And here at Felician, the sisters were instructing some of the courses, or how did you interact with them?
Were they your faculty professors, or were they just kind of on the campus and you just had interactions?
I had some interactions. Some of them were, I had one that was a sister that was my teacher. Sister Aquinas was my psychology teacher. And I just kind of saw it. It was mainly Sister Teresa, though, because she was the dean of students at the time when I was here. Yeah.
Was there a particular moment that you knew that would be your journey towards sisterhood, or was there something about Sister Teresa that inspired you?
Well, it's just by her being, and then I went on a search weekend and I really wasn't sure, but I had this kind of gnawing sensation that I felt like I had to go do something about it, because I felt like after I graduated, I had this sense that I was being drawn back, and I'm like, I just graduated from there. Why do I need to go back there? But I had this sense that it was something more than that. So I did speak with Sister Veronice of late memory. She was the academic dean. I went to speak with her, and I said, Sister, I had other signs, I just felt like this vocation thing was just shh. So anyway, so I went to speak with her, and I said, Sister, I think I'm called to be as you are. And her face lit up like a light bulb. And then she got me in touch with Sister Janet, who was the postulant director at the time. And then I just kind of moved along. But it really wasn't, I still kind of had this sense of wanting to run out the door, even though I didn't do that. It was more like in my mind that I was going to like, oh, no. But, each time I moved forward, I was more peaceful. Yeah, so each time I moved forward, I was more, because at this time when this vocation idea was in my mind, it was like I could relate it to like a raging storm with the ocean, crashing waves. That's kind of what was going on inside of me. And I had a couple of injuries, which I think God just kind of knocked me out so that I had fallen and broken my leg. So I was kind of out of work for a while. And it was during this time that this vocation idea was kind of, and then once I took different steps forward, I got more peaceful.
What are those steps like that you're referring to moving forward?
Oh, well, first you once you connect with the postulant director, you're we would call it affiliates. You become a candidate where you're interested, okay? And then once you decide that that's for you, you'd enter the community, become a postulant, okay? So we have vocation directors. We have every step has a director, and then once you're a postulant, then you become a novice, then you're first professed, then when we get our rings, and we make perpetual. Some call it's either final vows or perpetual vows, where perpetual to me I like better because it's forever.
Ongoing,
forever,
Ongoing.
For all eternity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow.
It's amazing.
And when we make our first vows, we get our crucifix.
And you still have it on today.
Yep, that's part of my attire.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the Felician Lantern, shining a light on everything nursing.
There was a article about you. I forgot the publication, one of the Felician Sisters publications, and they did a feature on you, and they called you the Eagle Eye. Or you had the Eagle Eye. It was a nickname. How did that come about?
Oh, that's because when we show them how to do a dressing change, I'm very good at knowing what's sterile and what's not sterile. And I didn't even know they called me that till they were giving a tour one day. I think it was Mary Claire. And she said, oh, there's Eagle Eye. And I was like, She said, because if you're doing a dressing, she said she's the one to help you because she knows exactly what you need to do in the sense of sterile, a sterile field.
So how do you kind of connect and merge? You are a nurse, you're in nursing, you teach nursing, you're amazing with students. And then also the sisterhood, the calling. How did that come together, I guess, and fit for you?
It just blends. I can't separate it. I'm a sister first, and then being a nurse. I mean, I was a nurse first, but now I'm a sister, so they just blend together. All that I am as a sister, I bring to ministry. We call it ministry. We go out to ministry. And we're active contemplative. We pray at home, and then we go to ministry. So it just blends nicely for me because I'm doing two of the things I love to do, being a sister and working as a nurse with the nursing students.
It's a beautiful community to just be a part of and connect. And so how is that community? What kind of experiences have you had? And, just being able to go about and travel and do different things, within different retreats and things like that.
Well, we need to go on like a yearly retreat. Mm-hmm. That's part of our requirement. Otherwise, we're always going, doing and helping. Oh, I'll do that. I'll do this. But then we need time for ourselves and God. So we need to be on a retreat. So we have options of where we can go. We can stay home because they'll bring somebody in, like a retreat master. And but we have other options that we can go on a retreat. We have a monthly day of retreat as well. So we just take time to be with God and we have where I live. Well, all of our convents have chapels, so we can just go to chapel and pray.
Now, do you take your nursing into the convent as well and take care of other sisters, or
not really? Because we have we live in our convent. We have different levels of care, and we do have nurses around the clock. Mm-hmm. So I don't really. I kind of leave that to them to do. So they're all very experienced. So I don't really bring. I mean, you can't separate yourself as a nurse. We're always nurses. So
absolutely.
So you can't separate being a nurse at home or here or there. You're just a nurse. So I don't care for the sisters in that way though. Besides visiting them,
I really enjoyed seeing how you accept and love to learn about new technology, like the AR technology I was mentioning earlier with the HoloLens. You put the HoloLens and you're out there getting right into it and giving it a go. And also our new suture arms with they're very realistic like suture arms that you can learn. And you went right in there and wanted to learn how to suture. So what do you think of new technology, and what's your perception of that?
I think it's great. We were over the daycare in Lodi, and we had a very good lab there. But I can just see how we have moved so much more into technology, and it's all for the betterment of the student, how we can help them learn and grow for their nursing careers once they graduate. Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
And you're so powerful in bringing that sense of peace and kind of grounding students. I always think of when we are in the lab with our students and the graduate nursing students, and they're about to take an exam or they're about to do something that might be a little difficult, and you just take that time, that moment, just to say a prayer and just kind of connect. And it's so powerful. And it's really, I think that it means so much to the students, to us, the faculty. You're such a value to Felician and what you bring to us.
Thank you. Well, it's the best. I have the best of both worlds.
Do you have any advice for our nurses out there or our nursing students?
Well, I think because we have the core values, that they learn when they're in school, if they can just remember those values when they're working with, whether it's at the whatever level, NP or working in the hospital, wherever they are, if they can remember to bring the core values, I believe that, because I think in general, when people see that the nurses are from Felician, they're like, so they have something special in general, but if they can remember to bring the core values with them, daily for themselves, and also for themselves, if they can take time just to be present, to whether they go outside or they go to their place of worship, wherever, that they could take time themselves to center themselves. And I think everything will just go smoothly. And also, if they're into praying, they could say a little prayer with their clients or patients, even with their fellow workers, co-workers. Things always go better with prayer.
Absolutely. And I think, you bring that forward, and it's so much of what you do and the core values just fits into nursing, just like a glove,
Compassion.
Compassion, right. And taking care of the needy and having love for all. I think the world needs a lot more Sister Patricia's in that.
Do you have any advice for any inspiring people out there who want to be a sister as well and want to take that journey?
Well, if you think God is calling you, do it. Because I kind of fought the battle, and I knew he would win it eventually, but for me, it just took more time. I wouldn't say more time, but it took more time for me to just settle in that this was for me. And I'm happy, because the word Felician means happiness. So I'm a sister of happiness.
Sister, thank you so much for joining us today. We really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better.
And this was really cool. Yeah, this is my first podcast. This is right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sister.
This podcast has been a production of Radio Felician, the voice of the Franciscan University of New Jersey. The views expressed are solely those of the hosts and guests and are not official statements of Felician University. Visit Radio Felician on the web anytime at radiofelician.com. Want to send an email? Reach out at radiostation@felician.edu. Radio Felician, the Falcon.